Recently, our real estate team has been getting a ton of questions about Woodstock, Georgia. Woodstock is a smaller town with its city limits spanning 12 square miles, and it has approximately 35,000 residents. It is located in Cherokee County, and that is about an hour west of where our team has its home base, which is in Buford. Now, Woodstock is just about 30 miles north of downtown Atlanta, and it's so close to Milton and Alpharetta. You have heard us talk about that all the time here on this channel. Those are both very, very popular towns to be in. Now, you know that we've talked about how Alpharetta has amazing shopping and amenities, and they have really great stuff going in that area, and so you're only about 30 minutes away from Alpharetta and Milton, depending upon where you're based out of in Woodstock. Now, one of the biggest perks of Woodstock is its close proximity to Lake Allatoona. So you've heard us talk about Lake Lanier here on this channel, which is really close to where a lot of the towns that we talk about. But if you are living in Woodstock, you are going to be very close to Lake Allatoona. Like Lake Lanier, Allatoona is a man-made lake as well, and it encompasses 12,000 acres. And just like Lanier, it is visited by millions of people every single year. So let's get to it. What is it going to cost you to live in Woodstock? So in July 2022, the median sales price of a home in Woodstock was $432,000, and the average price point was $486,000. Now, according to the U.S. Census, the median household income in Woodstock is about $81,000, and 67% of the residents in Woodstock own their own homes. So let's take a look at what that median sales price will get you in today's market. So let's take a look at this house. It was listed for $435,000, so just right about that median sales price. And it has, however, just been reduced to $409,000. So this is something that you have not heard me say on this channel in the past 2 years since we've been going and making these videos together, a price reduction. So this house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and it's just shy of 2,100 square feet. This home was built in 2012, and it is right near downtown Woodstock and the outlet mall. The only kicker is that it sits on a 1/10 of an acre, so you have quite the tiny backyard here in this house. It does, however, have a fenced-in yard, so if you need one for your dogs, you know, I have to have a fenced-in backyard. They're still gonna have room to run around, but not a ton of room to run around, if you know what I mean. So you're definitely not gonna be putting in a pool in this yard or anything like that. Now, there aren't any neighborhood amenities in this neighborhood either. So you have to consider that whenever you are taking that price in mind. Now let's take a look at this house, which was listed for $489,900, which is right around the average price point of $486,000. It's actually pretty similar to the first listing that we looked at. It has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and it's also just at 2,100 square feet. Now this house is actually a little older than the first, and it was built in 2006, but it also has a very small lot, just over 0.14 acres. Now it does, however, have neighborhood amenities. It's actually in a gated community, and you're gonna get things like tennis courts and a pool, a playground, and even a community lake. Currently, the most expensive home listed in Woodstock. It's currently being built, it's under construction. It's gonna have 4 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and 2.5 bathrooms. And it is gonna be 5,500 square feet on over an acre of land for $2.5 million. Very gorgeous and modern, full of great upgrades, but can you believe it's only 4 bedrooms? I would think that a $2.5 million house would have a lot more bedrooms. Now, the least expensive listing in Woodstock is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom townhouse, and this was built in 1987. Now, you definitely have a good mix of new construction properties and well-established neighborhoods in Woodstock, so you're gonna have a lot to choose from here. So let's take a look about taxes. That is another topic that we get a ton of questions about, and we have made a few videos going over how property taxes work here in Georgia. Generally speaking, property taxes in Georgia are much lower than what we see in states like Florida, New Jersey, and California. We're usually ranked right in the middle when comparing all of the state's property taxes across the country. Now, you can go and check out this video on my channel if you're interested in hearing more about how property taxes work here in Georgia. They are based off of the assessed value of your home, so if your house is valued at several millions of dollars, your taxes are obviously going to be much higher than if you were buying a home for $300,000. Kind of a good average rule of thumb that you can use is about 1% of the purchase price is going to be about what what your property taxes are going to be. That is, if you are a senior or a veteran, you do get some property tax breaks, some very hefty property tax breaks here in Georgia. Now, in Woodstock and most places in Georgia, like I said, you can expect those property taxes to be just about 1% of the home cost, and that's, again, a good rule of thumb. It's going to vary based on the assessed value and kind of what the other values are in the neighborhood as well. So just like most towns in North Georgia, many homes in Woodstock are in neighborhoods with HOA. So this is a fee that you're going to want to keep in mind and budget for whenever you are planning on moving to Woodstock. I recently did an entire video of why HOA neighborhoods aren't necessarily such a bad thing here in the North Georgia area. If you want to check that out, make sure you check out this video right here. So as I was flipping through current listings in Woodstock, most of the HOA fees here range from $500 to $1,000 a year. Now this is on the low end compared to communities in Florida, for instance, where we often hear that could be how much it is every single month. But it is an additional fee that you are going to have to consider when moving to Woodstock if you are coming from an area with no HOA whatsoever. If you watched this previous video about Woodstock where we went over the pros and cons of living here, if you haven't watched it, make sure you do, you'll remember that one of the town's biggest draws is all of the great shopping that it has. You've got a great shopping outlet called the Outlet Shops at Atlanta. Confusing name considering they aren't really in Atlanta, but they of course have really great deals and a whole plethora of options to choose from in terms of shopping. You also have a lot of options when it comes to grocery shopping. Woodstock has both a Costco and a Sam's Club. That's the winner right there, along with a Publix, Kroger, Sprouts, Aldi, Target, Walmart, and even a Lidl. That is like the trifecta, more than a trifecta of grocery stores there. You have everything that you could possibly need at your fingertips. Everything that you need coming to grocery shopping, I'm jealous of that. So speaking of jealous of grocery stores, do you have a Lidl where you're at? It's Aldi's sister store. It's my favorite, and there are a few of those here in the Metro Atlanta area, and it's like a bigger Aldi. You've got more selection. It's great. One of the great things about Aldi and Lidl is that the prices are really good. Although I think we can all agree that no matter where you live or where you shop right now, prices have risen on just about everything, including houses. One area that you can find relief though in Georgia is currently at the gas pump. So gas has gone up to just below the $4 mark a few months back, and in Woodstock currently gas prices are hovering around $3.20 to $3.30 for gas. If you compare that to the national average, which at the time of filming this video was $3.88, Woodstock is well below the national average, and this is due mostly to the fact that our state tax of 29 cents per gallon is currently suspended until mid-September, and potentially for the rest of the year. These midterm elections are coming up, so I bet we can see an extension on that. If you are living in Georgia and just about anywhere from right outside downtown Atlanta, you are going to need a car to get around, and Woodstock is no exception to that. Sure, you have some people who try to survive without a car, but there is really no public transportation whatsoever to speak of in Woodstock. You can find Ubers or Lyft or these rideshare apps, but they're not as abundant as what you're going to find options for as if you lived in the Metro Atlanta area. Now, when it comes to cost of utilities in Woodstock, the average power bill is $181 a month. This, of course, depends on the size of your house and what you keep your air conditioning set at. Georgia Power is one of the biggest electric companies here in Georgia, and they say that on average, almost half of your power bill comes from heating and cooling your home. We talk about air conditioning a lot because this is a question we get frequently. If you purchase a home in Georgia, it will have air conditioning. Speaking of that, right now at filming this video, our AC is out and it is hot. So I sent my husband to Home Depot to get us a portable air conditioning until ours gets fixed, because literally it's that hot, you don't want to live without it. Speaking of air conditioning, every single house is going to have that. We're not talking about window units, but real central heating and air. Now, when it comes to your water bill, you can expect to pay about $40 a month on average. And if you're watering the grass a lot during the summer, especially, which you're most likely to because there's not a lot of rainfall that happens here, you can expect to see that your water bill will be a little bit more expensive. However, if you're one of those homes that has just a 1/10 of an acre, this isn't going to cost you nearly as much as if you were watering a lawn with 1/2 of an acre. So what do you think about the cost of living in Woodstock, and is this an area that you would consider adding to your list? We would love to help you find your Woodstock home. We have a fabulous agent on our team who lives in this area. It's practically in his backyard, and he's so excited to work with you, and we would love the opportunity to serve you in Woodstock. And of course, if you are thinking about making a move anywhere in Georgia, you have to reach out to us. We look forward to hearing from you. You can find our contact information below, and of course, make sure you check out this video.